Accra is Ghana's vibrant, chaotic, ever-evolving capital. It's a city where the luxury can cast shadows over the open markets. It's a city where the rooftop cocktails cost more than a week's groceries. And of course, where the living cost, climbs faster than most people's salaries. But what does it really, cost to live in Accra in 2025? So guys, today's video, we're going to be breaking down the cost of living in Accra, and we're talking about rent, we're talking about food, we're talking about transportation, we're talking about lifestyle, and of course, those hidden costs that nobody talks about. We are going to, compare neighborhoods and of course, pull back the curtain on what it truly, takes to survive and of course, thrive in Accra. So if this is one video that interests you, guys, let's get deep into the video. So let's start with the biggest, wallet drainer. Let's, start with that one thing that is going to, touch you. And we're talking about your rent. So where you live in Accra can actually determine how far your money is going to go or how far you are going to stretch your wallet. And let's look at, the high-end zones. And we're talking about places like airport, residential. We're talking about cantonments. We're talking about East Legon. If you are looking at these places, then let's have a picture of what a one-bedroom apartment is going to, cost you. We are looking at, $800 to $1,500 a month. And I'm talking about a one-bedroom apartment. Now, if you're looking at a three-bedroom apartment in all these high-end areas, then you should be looking around $2,000 to $5,000 every month. You get what I'm saying? Now, but here's the thing that you do not know. Landlords are going to often ask for 2 years rent upfront. Now let's take it a bit, lower to the middle income neighborhoods. And we're looking at places like Spintex, we're looking at places like Dansoma, we're even looking at some parts of Tema. A two-bedroom, I'm talking about a decent two-bedroom, might be going for $300 to $700 a month. But even at that, it can take half of your paycheck still. Now, in budget-friendly areas, you can think of places like Madina, Kaswa, Awoshe. A single room or a small apartment, let's look at $100 to $250 monthly. So, what are the hidden costs of renting an apartment in Accra? Now, you see that infamous 2 years advance rent that you are asked to pay? It has left so many people in debt before they even moved into the apartment. Now, let's talk about the agent fees. Usually, you are going to be paying 10 to 15% of your 1 year's rent. What about the utility deposit? You're going to be parting with maybe an extra $200, $500 for water, electricity, and all those things that you are not aware of. So if you're renting in Accra, you shouldn't just be thinking about the cost, and all of that. It's like a battlefield. It's like where you are going to war. So one thing you should have in mind is that come prepared. Now let's look at food in Accra. Food in Accra can either stretch your cities or drown them fast. But then again, it would all depend on what choices that you make. So if you are going for the local meals and we're talking about wache, banku, or kenke, or maybe you want to patronize the street vendors, the chop bars, you are going to be parting with like $8 to $3 per plate. I want you to know that these ones are really affordable, they are tasty, and they are, filling. Now let's look at the mid-range restaurant. Let's say you want to go to a burger joint or a pizza spot somewhere in Osu. You are most likely going to be spending around $8 to $15 per meal. But if you want to take it higher than that, you want a fine dining, then get ready to part with about $30 to $100 per person. So what about shopping at supermarket? That's another story, but let's look at some of the things that you are most likely going to, get at the supermarket. Your local rice, a 5 kg bag will cost about $5, thereabout. But if you're looking at the imported ones like the basmati rice, then you are going to be costing about $15. Chicken, a kg will be going around $3, and for the local ones, and the imported ones can be, around $8. But like the rent, they are hidden, food costs that you are not aware. Now, some restaurants have what's jokingly called an expat tax price, which seems to go up when they see that you are not a local from the area. Even supermarkets are not, left out. Their prices change daily. You might pay more at ShopRite than your neighborhood market. You get what I'm saying? You are most likely going to pay more at all those shopping malls than your local market. So in Accra, you can eat, for cheap, or you can, feast for a fortune. Like I said earlier on, it all depends on the choice that you make. So let's move over to transportation, and we're looking at trotro versus, your Uber. Getting around Accra can be an experience of a lifetime. And if you're someone who is brave enough for public transportation, then trotros, the Metro Mass buses are okay for you. And this you are likely going to be paying about 30 cents to $1 a ride. You can say it's cheap, but I want you to know that in as much as it's cheap, it can be, chaotic, and of course, the experience can be very unpredictable. But if you're looking at convenience, then you are likely going to be going for Uber, your boat rides. We can, range from about $3 to $15, and this will be depending on the time of the day that you are, patronizing them and the traffic. So what if you want to drive your own car? We're looking at fuel, which is about $1 per liter, but you will need to budget for repairs. And this is, thanks to the problems or the issues of the road that could, cause you some of these issues with your own personal vehicle. Once again, there are hidden, costs that you are likely going to be faced with in the transportation sector, just like the food and rent. So let's look at time. What are those hidden costs that you are going to pay for? The hours that you are going to be, spending sitting in traffic or perhaps waiting for a ride could add up. Your car maintenance, the roads in Accra are not usually all the time kind to vehicles. So whether you are hopping from a trotro, you're taking a ride with Uber or whatever, transport in Accra can eat more than just the fuel. It eats your time and, of course, your peace of mind. So let's move over to, the lifestyle that you are intending to, enjoy when you come to Accra. You know that living in Accra can be said to be more than just surviving. It is also about the lifestyle, and that too can come at a cost, of course, because you are going to pay to get that kind of lifestyle that you would want to, enjoy or you would want to experience right here in Accra. So let's say that you go out for a drink, a bottle of beer, at your local spot can cost about $5. If you are going to a trendy bar, maybe say Osu, that same bottle of beer could be sold to you at $20. And of course, there's the pressure to show up looking the part that you want to be, addressed. So you want to stay fit. We're talking about the gym memberships, which widely, varies. Your basic neighborhood gym can cost about $20 a month. But if you're looking at the high-end options, then be ready to, part with like $80 to $100 a month. So what about healthcare in Accra? You know that we have the government and the private, but depending on which you want to go. So if it's the local clinic around, you could pay $5 for a test, but private hospitals can, charge you for, $50 for about the same thing that you are paying in the local. And many expats get to pay about $200 thereabout or more for their international health insurance. So what are the hidden, costs for the lifestyle that you'd want to, enjoy in Accra? The VIP culture in Accra is real. I mean, it's very real, especially when you're in the nightlife scene. Emergency healthcare. Let's talk about emergency healthcare. Many experts actually do not trust the local systems for serious health issues. They get to fly out of the country if it's something that they feel is really really bad. Now, Accra can be vibrant, it can be healthy, but only if you can afford the price, the price tag that is attached to, living in Accra. So we're going to be comparing between the locals and the foreigners, the two different cities that usually catch up with them. So here's the truth about the thing. Accra, you know, can feel like two different cities, and that will be depending where you might be coming from. And we are looking at it in the sense that rent prices can, often double up when the landlord, discovers that you are a foreigner in the country or you are returning from abroad. Now, your social life usually will revolve around places like Osu, East Legon, and the rooftop bars. Meanwhile, the locals are juggling family obligations, side hustles, and of course, they are trying to, scale up their saving goals. So it's like a two different world in one city. Then the income gap is real. It's real between the locals and the foreigners. Now, a solid family, middle class family in Ghana can be earning between $500 to $1,005 every month. Meanwhile, expats that have come with their relocation packages can be pulling up about $3,000 to $10,000 a month, often with rent, cars, and of course schooling. You get what I'm saying? So this is kind of the difference between the two group of people. Like I would always say, Accra is welcoming, but it doesn't treat everyone equally. You are not given the opportunity to be treated the same way because of your different, situations. So at the end of the day, the question I'm going to ask you guys is Accra worth it? I personally would, answer that it would depend on who you are and how deep your pocket runs. Now, for some people, Accra is a city of opportunity. It's a city of energy. It's like I said earlier on, it's that vibrant, chaotic, ever-revolving, city. It's the city where you come and hustle for every city. But one thing you should bear in mind is that Accra doesn't come cheap. Okay, so if you have money, Accra is paradise for you. Other than that, you're going to just be hustling your way. It's a constant hustle, and the city gets to reward the bold. But make no mistake, okay? It is going to test your bank account when you come into the city. So before you pack your bags or you sign that lease for that apartment, you need to ask yourself, can I really afford the Accra dream? So guys, thank you for watching today's video. I'd love to hear what you think about the living cost in Accra. I'd love to hear how you were able to maneuver your way when it came to rent, transportation, lifestyle, health, and everything that has to do with that. And thank you for watching today's video. But don't forget that while you're doing that, you can subscribe to the channel, you can turn on your post notification, give this video a thumbs up. If you want to know what the hidden cost of living in Ghana is, then I suggest that you watch this video up here, and I will see you guys another day. Bye.